Hey, what's up, my friend? Are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the War Plan Briefing. My name is Josh, and today we're going to talk about the 5 lies that entrepreneurs believe that could ruin your life, so you're going to want to pay attention. The first lie is that your employees are the things that are holding you back. That employees are the bane of your existence, that they are the biggest threat to your business growth, and that they're the big problem that's impossible to overcome. Have you ever considered this? Do you think it's possible? Let's play in the world of crazy ideas together for just a minute. Is it possible that it's not that millennials don't want to work, but maybe they just don't want to work for you? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about possibly you're not being noisy enough in the way that you market and attract employees? You ever thought about that? Look, I'm not here to beat you up, but I am here to give you some tough love and make you wake up, because people love to pick on employees as the reason that they're stuck, broke, and their business isn't growing. And look, labor, especially if you have a service business, is obviously a critical bottleneck part of growing a business. Yes, that's true. But the way that we solve that isn't by complaining about Gen Zers that like to play Fortnite and be on Twitch and live stream, and they don't want to work for you, and they want to have a tiny house and live in their camper and travel around the United States instead of work for you. That's not helpful. What is helpful is asking yourself how you can ascend your skills as a leader, as a recruiter. Are you an employer worth working for in the first place? Is there any kind of unique offer that you have to these people? Because the economy has changed. The rules are changing. The workforce is different now. That's true. 75 years ago, you could run a tiny classified ad that said, must be able to lift 50 pounds. Call this phone number. Start on Monday, work 80 hours a week in an unsafe environment with no overtime pay, and you'd get 100 applicants, okay? That's no longer the case. The landscape of the economy is different, but that doesn't make a lick of difference to you. It's time for you to take responsibility and solve the problem. For a lot of small business owners, you don't charge high enough prices to be able to adequately compensate your staff in the first place. The job offering you have, why is it called a job offer? Because it's supposed to be an actual offer. When they work for you, they get this, and 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 this, and this, and this, and all these things. That's what's supposed to be happening, because you as a marketer need to lure these people in to want to have a career, hopefully a career, not just a job, with you. So to summarize this point, it's not the external factors of employees being harder to recruit and retain. It's the internal factors in your brain that you need to level up if you're going to take your business to the next level. The second big lie that hordes of small business owners believe is that capital is the reason that they're not successful. Access to cash and capital is the reason that they can't make the living that they want, and they can't build the wealth that they want. And that's a bold-faced lie almost always. Now, depending the type of business that you have, and you would have known this before going into the business that you have, it can be more capital intensive than others. But the truth is, for most people, they need to become more resourceful. They don't need more resources, okay? We want an external thing to solve our problem. We think that the bank signing a check to you is going to fix something. A lot of people get into debt and then make their business worse. You know why? Because they use the debt, they use the capital to experiment. The true best way to use capital is to go faster with a proven model that's already working. If you've already figured it out and cracked the code on how to market and how to sell and how to ascend and how to make your customers more valuable and how to recruit and how to retain and how to train and how to develop employees, if you've already figured all of this out, sure, you can go get capital and add fuel to the fire and grow faster. But for most people, they don't have these things figured out in the first place. And they want to use capital or debt or investment money and give up equity in your company so you can go try stuff out, because truly deep down in your heart, you have a misunderstanding that the real bottleneck of the company always is you and me. It's ourself. It's the internal war going on in our mind. It's the battle of worthiness, the battle of shame, the battle of laziness for a lot of people. How hard are you actually working? And if I gave you money, do you even need it? Because the truth is, if you go knock on doors, shake hands, kiss babies, and go boots on the ground and really become this charismatic, on-fire person promoting your products and services, and you did that for an extended period of time, it's impossible to not get a bunch of money. You can self-generate the capital that you need with the mindset that you have. And if you're not able to do that, then I am nervous for whoever decides to give you capital in the first place. The third big lie that business owners believe, I call it the technical perfection deception. Let's say that you only make $100,000 a year and you want to make $500,000 a year in personal income. That's cool. That's admirable. That would put you well into the top 1% of income earners in the United States. And so what do? You try to get even better at the thing that you do. You try to get even better at the way that you understand the PSI and the flux capacitor and the nuance and the flux inverter valve and the ball bearing and the inverted hypnosis ring. What I'm talking about is the technical side of carpet cleaning or pressure cleaning or fill in the blank with whatever service you have. The truth is, guys, is that being technically the best at the deliverable that is for sale in your business is not the thing that makes you successful. I had a conversation with a carpet cleaner many years ago who was complaining and going on and on about how much he hated Stanley Steamer. You ever heard of Stanley Steamer? They have these little trucks. They drive around, they clean carpet for like $7. They have these like lowball offers and these slimy sales tactics. I don't know that much about Stanley Steamer, but I do know that the founder lives on an island and flies a helicopter, and you probably don't. Okay, you don't. And so you can choose to be technically better and complain with your tiny, small, broken business where there's a huge risk profile on you, because if you get hurt or sick, you have no money anymore because you can't scale a real company. You're just self-employed, which is not the same thing as having a business in the first place. Or you can understand that technical perfection, the reason I call it the technical perfection deception, you being perfectly technical about the nuance of the thing that you sell is not the key to grow the business. You have to get good at sales and marketing. You have to become the loudest, biggest, best advocate for your products and services. You have to be smarter and more nuanced in the way that you approach your messaging and the timing and the targeting and the offers that you bring to the marketplace and the sales process that you use and the way you recruit and retain and train your employees. These are the skills that make you a fortune. These are the skills that give you the ability to scale a company, not being the very, very best at the thing. You ever go to the mall and you go to Mrs. Fields Cookies? It's a huge chain, Mrs. Fields. I don't know what happened to her, but I bet she's got a hot tub and a jet ski and got a few extra dollars in the bank because she has this massive cookie empire. Do you think that her cookies are literally the best cookies ever in the history of mankind? Do you think her business is that big because they have the best cookies? The truth is, there's probably 7 little old ladies within driving distance of your house where you're watching this right now that make better cookies than Mrs. Fields makes. But it doesn't matter because that's not how you become successful in a business. You have to have an adequate level of delivery. You have to have an adequate level of competency and safety in the things that you do. I'm not telling you to be bad and be slimy salesperson. What I'm telling you is there reaches a point when you need to graduate from the technical perfection, acknowledge that it's good enough, and begin the process of developing these other skills that will help you actually make the money that you want to make. The fourth lie that entrepreneurs believe is that you are your customer. Now, this is a big one. This goes deep into our brain. It goes deep into our childhood. I don't know how you were raised, okay? I was raised by good people that love me, but we didn't have a lot of money. There's lots of weird false beliefs around money that held my family back, that got into my brain, that took me years and decades to get out of my body and out of my brain. And you are not your customer. What do I mean? What I mean is when you're creating your packages, when you're creating your offerings, when you're creating your pricing, you get in your own way and you mess it up for yourself. Because what you're failing to understand is that there are humongous amounts of affluent people. Lots and lots of people have a lot more money than you do. And just because you have $37.42 in your bank account doesn't have anything to do with Randy's bank account and Lisa's bank account. You don't know what's in their bank account. We don't want to project our own self-limiting beliefs onto our market, onto our avatar. You're not the avatar. My first real business was a window cleaning business just south of Flint, Michigan called Birds Beware Window Cleaning. And truly, everything I have today is because I decided to buy a squeegee 20 years ago. And I cut my teeth in this business, knocking on doors and struggling and, cleaning windows and like hiding my broken down car around the corner and then knocking on doors and getting a job and then going and doing it and learning how to do a business. But what I quickly realized was that it was normal for people to be successful. What had previously felt rare to me, meaning people that have money and resources and the ability to spend and buy things, it's not rare at all. It's common. There are millions of millionaires. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of deca-millionaires. There's tons of people with money. You are not your customer. And when you price things too cheap based on that belief, you're crippling and cutting your legs out from under yourself from having a bigger opportunity in front of you. I always thought it was weird with my window cleaning business that people even paid for this service in the first place. Don't you know your window's going to get dirty in like 2 seconds after I leave? It's going to get windy and it's going to rain and your window will be dirty. But guess what? It's a multi-bajillion dollar huge industry with over 100,000 people that support their families and have multi-million dollar companies cleaning windows for people that are not me. People that are not me. I don't particularly see lots of value in spending money to clean dirt off a glass, particularly, although it's nice. But especially before I had money and resources, I thought it was the craziest thing. I think it's important for you to remember that you are not your customer. And when you're building your offers, have the courage to put it out there and to ask for that higher price, because more times than not, you're going to be surprised when people say, oh, great, can you come on Tuesday? And last but not least, the fifth lie that entrepreneurs believe is that you hitting your goal will actually satisfy you. at all. And whether it's $1 million goal or a $10 million goal, it doesn't matter where the yardstick currently is, because when you do hit the goal, you will move the yardstick in perpetuity until you're 87 and you fall over dead. This is what happens. I've worked with over 1,000 small business owners, and I've seen it over and over and over in my own life and in everybody's lives, is that we're perpetual movers of the yardstick. You know, when you tell a little kid not to touch a hot stove, you know, they kind of don't really believe you until they touch the hot stove, and now they have a new level of understanding, right? Like pain is an excellent teacher. It's an excellent teacher. They touch it, now they know, now they won't touch it again. The same is true with the $1 million thing. You go on the internet with the Gary V's and the Grant Cardones and the hustle grind culture and all these idiots running around saying, you got to make money, 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 get rich, get rich, get rich, do nothing, 4-hour work week. There's all this stuff going in your head. And so you begin to lay down your life and run towards the pursuit of this thing, because all of culture and society has told you that this is the thing. Your wife will actually love you and respect you if you hit the $1 million, right? Your high school guidance counselor from 13 years ago, yeah, you're going to show him when you hit the $1 million. The truth is that nobody cares. No one cares about you like you think they do. They're not sitting around thinking about you. And the guidance counselor in your broken marriage is not going to be repaired by you hitting the $1 million. Even the amount of money that you have in your account after all the expenses won't be that magical to you anyway. I promise it's really true. It's just that people don't believe me until they find out for themselves. I'm more of a fan of this idea of ambitious contentment. I am a high achiever. I want to push and drive and grow. I want you to push and drive and grow, but it's really important that you understand that the satisfaction you're seeking needs to come from the journey itself, not from the destination, because it's almost like this oasis that you're running towards. And when you do get there, it'll feel really cool for about 2 minutes, and then it will be empty in every category. If you need to fix your marriage, do it right now while you're building your business. You don't need to achieve that to fix this, right? If you need more money, be more financially responsible right now. Make a budget, save something, delete an expense, you know, take a cheaper vacation. This isn't rocket science. And the goal that you're running towards is valid, and I honor that, but it's not going to hit like you think it will when you get it. And if you can't find a way to find joy in the journey as you're going, you're going to get burnt out, you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to hurt a lot of people around you in this endless pursuit of more on accident. Hey, if you thought this was valuable, thank you. And consider subscribing to the channel, sharing it with friends, posting it all over the internet. Get like-minded small business Christian entrepreneur families to see this content, because I hope it can change your life and inspire you, because that's why we're doing this. My wife, Ashlee, and I are here to serve entrepreneur families, and that's what this is all about. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, what type of content you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, click the video on the left to watch the previous upload. And if you want one of my personal favorites, click the video on the right. And of course, don't forget to hit the middle to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thank you again for being on this journey with me.